Hi, and welcome to This Week in East Brunswick, the Township's weekly video magazine. This week, Dolly Vasta and Karen Burke will tell us about the Independence Day celebration planned by the Township. We'll see work exhibited by senior citizens from throughout the county at an art show held at the East Brunswick Senior Center. And we'll take a look at a cookout also held at the Senior Center last Sunday. We'll make a brief trip down to the community beach for a few words from Art McEnany, and we'll visit Middlesex County Agricultural Agent Pegi Ballister-Howells for a demonstration on pruning spring flowering shrubs. Director of Consumer Affairs Adrian Eisner suggests caution when using a lawnmower, and we'll wrap up with the council review. But first, here's a look at Channel 8 programming next week. In observance of Independence Day, there will be no cablecast on Monday, July 4th. At 7 Tuesday night, the City of Beverly Hills presents In Print. At 7:30, Ken Shalhoub speaks with medical residents on Let's Talk Health. And at 8 p.m. on You and Your Money, host Paul Hansen offers an economic outlook from a mutual funds perspective. On Business Bylines at 8:30, John Runyon introduces the East Brunswick Regional Chamber of Commerce. At 2:30 Wednesday afternoon, Lenore Kulick presents Look Great, Feel Great. And at 3 p.m., it's Stories from the Library for preschoolers. Spotlight on Education focuses on special education within the East Brunswick school system Wednesday night at 7:30. And at 8, Stuart Davis investigates where teens go and what they do on 18 Growing Up in East Brunswick. We'll return at 7 and 8 p.m. Thursday night with a new edition of This Week in East Brunswick. And at 7:30 Thursday night, Dr. Natalie Winters discusses Perfection on Psychology in Action. Saturday reruns of each week's shows will resume in September.
Karen, will you please run that up so we can talk?
I'm doing it, Dolly.
Now,
you know, I'm fighting the wind here.
That's right, okay. There we go. Good old Stars and Stripes, huh?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, hi. I'm Dolly Vasta, known as the Frick of the Concert Summer Series.
And hi, I'm Karen Burke. I'm known as Frack of the concert series, and we're here to bring you some information and an update.
That's right, and we're going to start with this weekend, which is our big 4th of July celebration.
Correct.
Except that it's not on the 4th of July, it's on the 3rd of July. That's this Sunday, the 3rd of July.
Correct.
At the Middlesex County Fairgrounds, and that's on Cranberry Road.
Mm-hmm.
And it really starts at 6 o'clock because the vendors will be there.
Mm-hmm. So
We've
you
got
can
some
feed
real
your
good
family
goodies.
there. Don't make mom cook.
That's right, it's really
Right.
neat. And then at 7 o'clock, we have the Air Force concert band coming in. I'm really excited about
me
listening
too.
to them.
They are
They-
just
They are dynamite.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Very good. That's absolutely dynamite. And then at 9:15, it's your turn to take over because
Right.
that's your bit.
Just about 9:10, 9:15. If it's dark enough, we will start the fireworks. And that show is anywhere between 35 and 45 minutes. It will be spectacular. As spectacular, if not a little bit better than last year.
Oh,
So
and that was great.
it was. Last year was the best, and this year we want to make it
We're
even a
going to
little
even
bit
top.
better.
We're
That's
even
right.
going to top
So-
last year. So don't forget, that's this Sunday night, July 3rd. Now for the biggie. Just in case it rains.
Listen closely.
Yeah, listen up, folk. We are going to take the concert and move just the concert up to the East Brunswick High School auditorium at 7 o'clock. It's free of charge, so if it rains, you'll have nothing better to do anyway, so bring the family up and enjoy the concert. The following night, that would be Monday night at 7 to 9,
o'clock.
right? We have a DJ
We have a
that's going
DJ
to
coming
be down
in.
there.
J&J is going to come and provide music for us from 7 to 9 o'clock, and the vendors will be there again. And then we'll have the fireworks at 9:10. So just remember, there's a separation here, folks. The Air Force Band will perform Sunday at the Middlesex County Fairgrounds, and in case of rain, at the high school.
Right. But
Okay.
there isn't going to be any rain.
No,
Of
right.
course not. And listen, before we
Please,
segue,
listen.
yes, before we segue off of this, I wanted to go back for just a few days to the concert Sunday night.
our
at the,
kickoff
That's
concert.
right.
Oh,
It was the kickoff
that's great.
to our summer series, and it was supposed to open up the beautiful beach and all the work that Karen and her staff has done on it down here. And unfortunately, the weather started to look very bad, and we had thousands of dollars worth of sound equipment invested.
It was cold, too.
So yeah, we moved it over to the East Brunswick Jewish Center. Rabbi Rogoff and his congregation were just wonderful. They
were.
opened
Yeah, you're right.
their hearts and the temple to us to do the show.
And it was wonderful. Giora Friedman
Giora
is
Friedman.
wonderful.
Oh, he was magnificent, wasn't he? You know, the hairs on my arm stood on end watching him
He's
do
a
that.
talent that
Right. And all of
exceptional.
this, and all the rest of the concerts were partially funded by the Provident Bank of New Jersey. And we're very grateful to you, Provident. So, mwah.
for sure.
Right.
Thanks.
We'll see you all Sunday night.
Okay.
Not Sunday, Monday.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello, I'm Cynthia Schachter, manager of East Brunswick's Office on Aging, and I'm happy to welcome you this evening to the East Brunswick Senior Center, where we are hosting Middlesex County Senior Citizen Art Show. This is the 4th year that we have this wonderful display of artwork by senior citizens in our center, and it's always very exciting to do. With me tonight is George Coakley, Executive Director of the Middlesex County Office on Aging. George, would you tell us a little bit about the history of this show?
Well, this show has been going on for 22 years now. Each county holds a juried art contest for all representatives of painters from the various municipalities. The winners of this show will then go down to the State Division on Aging's juried art contest. Last year was held in Atlantic City, and those paintings will be judged and there'll be winners declared from there. It's been very successful over the 22 years and has really grown immensely, and we've seen some very wonderful paintings come out of it. We have 3 judges here tonight from various areas of the art community, and they will be rating the paintings and awarding from first place to honorable mention in both the professional category and the non-professional category.
The art show devolves from art shows that are held at individual senior centers throughout the county. Each municipality holds its own show, and the winners in both the professional and non-professional categories are brought here to participate in this county art show.
On Sunday, the Senior Center also hosted a cookout, this year's last Sunday program for the summer. About 50 people enjoyed a relaxing afternoon of sun, food, horseshoes, and bocce. 2 programs to note coming up in July are a seniors-only swim at the Parlim YMCA from 2 to 3 on Friday, July 1st, and a Christmas in July party, Friday, July 22nd, at the Center, complete with Santa and songs. For information, call 390-6786. Mary Ellen Lutak, Director of Programming at the Senior Center, wrapped up the afternoon with a few words of thanks.
I just wanted to thank my very special crew who work with me all the Sundays here in the various programs. I have 2 young men who work with me, Rob and Nick, one who drives and one who generally helps me. And I want to thank my husband, Matt, who's been the cook today, along with Joe Henry, and many people who just put their 2 cents in to help the programs go along very well. These people are really what make the programs come, and the enjoyment that the people have from them. So a special thanks to everyone for helping. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Karen Burke, Manager of Recreation, and right alongside me is Art McEnany. He's the coordinator of the Community Beach on Dunham's Corner Road. And we were just sitting here conversing about some of the problems that we have hiring staff and running some of our programs. So we thought that perhaps it would be a format for us to display on This Week in East Brunswick. So Art, why don't you just tell where our problems are right here.
Fine. Karen, thank you for the opportunity, first of all. It really isn't as much as a problem as the situation that we have with a lack of youngsters, a lack of youngsters that are certified with their advanced life-saving. Right now we have a number of openings still. Not that it's late in the season, we have just opened this week for the very first time, going full time this week. But normally we have a full staff at this particular time in the summer, and that's not the situation this summer. The point that I'm trying to make is that we still have a number of openings for those people, those youngsters that are certified with their advanced life saving. Some of the other requirements is that you have to be at least 16 years of age. We have part-time openings as well as full-time openings. So if there's some of you out there that still are without summer employment and you like to make some money and at the same time enjoy our facilities, please don't hesitate.
Scenery's not bad either.
Exactly. Please don't hesitate to either contact the East Brunswick Recreation Office or come down and see me directly. I'm Art McEnany, I'm the beach coordinator, and we're located on Dunham's Corner. And again, I'd like to thank you for this opportunity, Karen, to reach out to those youngsters.
What about adults? What about adults that are certified?
Absolutely. If there's anyone out there with some free or idle time, as long as you have that certification and you are of 16 years and older and up, please, we have a position for you.
Okay. So they can call at the beach too. What's your number here, Art?
It will be 390-6833, or you can call me direct, 390-6834.
Okay. And if you can't reach Art there, 390-6797, and you can ask for Mr. Gerhardt. He's the beach supervisor. So reach out, folks, and try to help us along. We need quality people to do a quality job here at your community beach. See ya.
Hi, this is Peggy Ballister-Howells, your Middlesex County Agricultural Agent, and today we're in the alleyway with the shady plants. And I have here one of my favorite bushes that lives back here, a rosebud azalea. As you can see, the little rosebud azalea flowers have dried up, and it's finished up with its blossoming for this season. But now is a very important time to prune it. You can't really prune spring flowering shrubs in the spring, because if you do it early in the season, you cut off all the flower buds. And that's exactly what you're growing the plant for, is to have the flowers. So the best time to do it is right after it finishes blooming, before it finishes putting out all the new growth. Now, whenever you prune a bush like this, you never want to take off more than 1/3 of the bush at a time. Taking off more will stress it significantly. If, however, you don't care about blooming at all, you can prune it in the spring. But then it takes a couple of years before you get any flowers again. So right here, I don't really like these two branches. They're sticking up way too high. You can see it comes all the way back here. There's a few little shorter ones, so I'm going to prune this off right here. You always take the pruning cuts at a V, or where the main branch joins the trunk. Now, I don't like these. I think these are a little too tall. We're going to prune this whole thing, and then we're going to show you what the finished product looks like. As you can see, I've tried to maintain here the overall shape of the bush. You don't want to use an electric head shears to just shear the whole thing off. You can turn it into something that looks like a meatball or a hockey puck. And the idea is to maintain the natural growth habit of the bush. This way, it still looks beautiful, and it has enough removed so that it'll send out new shoots from the bottom, and it's those new shoots that are going to have the most flowers on them. We'll just make a couple more cuts, and I think it'll be all done. And we'll see you here next week in my backyard.
Hello, and welcome to Consumer Aware. I'm Adrienne Eisner, Director of the East Brunswick Consumer Affairs Office. At this time of the year, when many homeowners are using their gasoline-powered mowers, it is important to stop and think of the safety precautions we should be taking so that we can avoid serious injury. A lawnmower is a useful piece of equipment, but can be deadly if not handled properly. Before mowing, become familiar with the mower, its operation, hazards, safety instructions, and warning labels. Fuel up before starting, and do it out of doors. Wipe up any gas spills. A spark from the motor could easily start a fire or explosion. Put on sturdy, non-slip shoes to avoid foot injuries. Do not cut the grass while barefoot or wearing sneakers. Wear close-fitting clothing to prevent apparel from becoming entangled in the mower. Go over the lawn carefully to pick up stones, wires, toys, dog bones, or anything the mower might pick up and throw. If the lawn is wet, wait. Wet grass will clog the mower, and attempts to unclog blades cause many serious injuries. Fingers and hands are #1 in power mower accidents. Don't use fingers to clear the chute of a running mower. Shut the mower off before emptying the grass catcher, and never leave a running mower unattended. While you are mowing, mow forward as much as possible so you can see where you're going and avoid pulling the mower back over your foot. With walk-behind mowers, go across the slopes. With riding mowers, go up and down the slopes. While operating, keep hands and feet clear of the mower blade housing at all times. Never refuel while the mower is running or the engine is hot. Do not allow children to operate the mower. Small children can be injured seriously while operating power mowers or even when playing nearby. The United States Consumer Product Safety Commission estimates that 5,000 persons are treated annually in hospital emergency rooms for injuries associated with walk-behind power mowers. Be an alert operator, spot the dangers, and avoid many potential problems for you and the members of your family. If you have any further questions, please contact us at the East Brunswick Consumer Affairs Office. We are located in the municipal building. Our hours are from 9 until 5, Monday through Friday. The telephone number is 390-6954. Thank you for joining me on Consumer Aware. See you again next time.
According to Councilman Jack Sinagra, the fate of the township's senior citizens housing project is in jeopardy. At Monday night's council meeting, an ordinance to condemn about 3/4 of an acre of land to make room for the project was turned down. Councilman William Kirk and Louis Becker voted against condemnation in favor of other plans. Councilman Sinagra and Joseph Hudak supported the ordinance. Council President Russell Walker, who would have been the swing vote in favor of condemnation, could not attend the meeting because of the death of his mother. Sinagra asked the council on behalf of Walker to postpone the vote.
The real question and the real test of this council and this community is whether we even have 3 votes to table. Before Councilman Kirk made his historic trip to New Mexico to discuss with Mr. Picaro a way in which we could purchase this 3/4 of an acre, which had very little value according to our building department and our mayor and the administration, and that it was truly needed to make this a successful senior citizens project. I think this council had a firm resolve that we had to do what we had to do to have this 80-unit low-income senior citizens built because there was a need within our community. Today, to do anything but vote to table, even if because of personal reasons and relationships with Mr. Picaro or for personal reasons, the condemnation may be objectionable. But to object to a table at this time is only a self-fulfilling prophecy. Some people, it would cause a delay, and right now time is our worst enemy. By a table next week when Mr. Walker returned, we'd be able to take a vote of this council. So anything but I will make a motion to table because I don't feel, based on conversations, that we have 3 votes to pass it. However, as I say, anything but to vote yes for a table is just a vote against the senior citizens building at this time.
Sinagra's motion to table was turned down by Becker and Kirk. Kirk says that giving the Picaros a zoning change would be better for the town.
Yes, just to counter Mr. Sinagra's comments having to do with being against senior citizen housing. The council was presented with an opportunity for an alternative to this, which would not involve a condemnation process, and which would have involved the donation of the 3/4 of an acre, which has been at least informally appraised between $140,000 and $200,000 value, not a minimal value. And the council is choosing, instead of accepting the alternative of having the property donated in a quid pro quo developer agreement with the Picaro brothers, is choosing instead to condemn. that money will come out of the township, as opposed to having the opportunity to acquire the property at no cost. And that if there is to be an appeal to the condemnation process by the Picaro brothers through their agent, Mr. Igueria, who's an attorney on Montgomery Road, it's been estimated that the time factor that would be involved is at least a year and perhaps longer. That was from Mr. Bush during, I believe, the last meeting. So it seems to me that it's clear that there's a decision on the part of council to be taken here that it can speed up this process and have the senior citizen housing property developed in conformance with the wishes of National Church residents to have the full 3 acres of property here to generate a yield of 80 senior citizen housing units, and that could be achieved at no cost, and it could be achieved in a ready fashion through an agreement with the Picaro brothers to receive the property, and to have the site plan submitted to the planning board by National Church residences, which would show the full acreage of the property, including the 3/4 of an acre that were discussed with Mr. Picaro in Santa Fe. Thank you.
As
Councilman Sinatra.
to coin a
I have something after that too.
To coin a phrase from another councilman, now I'm really disturbed. Mr. Kerr, Councilman Kerr, paints the deal or the transaction with Mr. Picaro as this magnificent person who will donate this land. In fact, it was a proposition which the planning board, strangely enough, found objectionable. The mayor found objectionable, and 3 councilmen found objectionable. And that was to allow Mr. Picaro to develop 11 acres of his land, not as it was presently zoned, but to rezone it for commercial. Just what we need, another large commercial development in town. We found that unacceptable. We still find it unacceptable, and we voted it down. Now, the only question before us that is history. The only question before us is whether we should condemn the 3/4 of acre land, pay a fair price. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Mr. Picaro, for your fine, generous offer of 3/4 of a land. If you had to estimate what the value of what we were giving him, as Mr. Kirk says, maybe the 3/4 of an acre is worth $140,000. We were giving him millions, millions. And that is unacceptable to 3 members of this council, and we took a vote. The only issue here is whether we should condemn the 3/4 and go ahead with the project.
Picaro's land on New Brunswick Avenue near Ruse Lane is currently zoned for single-family homes on 1/3 of an acre lots. Council President Russell Walker also failed to receive support for his desire to have council meetings cablecast live in their entirety on Channel 8 this summer as a trial run. Town Administrator Gregory Fehrenbach relayed Walker's message.
Mr. Walker is concerned about this, I believe, for 2 reasons. One is that he knows that the library has the ability during the summer to do it on a trial basis, and that the summer tends to be a relatively slow period for everybody. And secondly, that if he is able to have any influence over the cable casting of council meetings and to see if it is a viable project, his only opportunity is right now. We all know he's not running again for office. He has no expectation of being in office at the end of the year. And that, I believe, is motivating him a great deal to at least go through the experiment process. I was attempting to judge whether or not it would be appropriate to state this, and it appears, at least given the direction that he gave me, that it is appropriate to state it. Mr. Walker said to me, I'm not saying this, I'm simply the messenger, remember, I'm the messenger. Mr. Walker told me that he wanted the council to be aware that he felt extremely strong about this particular proposal, about making the meetings available to residents in their homes, and that he felt so strong about it that in the event the council was sincere in their feeling that they felt it was inappropriate to go through this trial process at this time, that he would prefer if the council would choose someone else to serve as the presiding officer of this council.
Councilman Sinagra, Hudak, and Kirk opposed Walker's wish. Sinagra said the timing was bad because an election is coming. Kirk and Hudak added that it should be determined if residents want to see entire council meetings before the project is undertaken. Becker, however, urged the council to support Walker's plan, saying that the election should not interfere with the council's decision. Also Monday, the council discussed additional parking at the senior center. The majority of the council favored the additional spots to be added nearest the center and the library. And the Turnpike Widening Ad Hoc Committee gave a favorable report to the council. Ad Hoc Chairman Ed Cohn said the Turnpike has been responsive to his committee. Right now, the committee is negotiating for an attractive style for the sound barrier and for landscaping for individual property owners. Also Monday, preservationists urged the council to help save the Hollander Durand House from destruction. The historical home is in the Turnpike's way. Preservationists made an emotional plea to the council, summarizing the historic importance of the home. The council said the structure's fate is in the hands of the mayor. And the council adopted an ordinance enforcing permit-only parking on streets behind the high school. This in response to residents' complaints about an abundance of cars parked on the streets. And the council proclaimed July National Recreation Month, so stay tuned to Channel 8 for special coverage of recreation events this month. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.